Good morning. It's turned out nice again. How's it going, guys? You all right? It has turned out nice. It's only 9 o'clock in the morning. It's turned out too nice. All right. I know what you think. You think you're sweating because you're obese. I know. Hey, I'll tell you something now. I've lost 2 stone. I hit my target yesterday. I know what you're thinking. There's 2 ton to go, right? But I used to be 27 stone. And then I got down to 15 stone just before the pandemic hit. And then when the pandemic and the lockdown and all the depression in my life, you know what I mean? I gained a bit back, but I'm back on the right direction now. So you won't have noticed, but I've lost a couple of stone, recently. So I'm continuing to go down like that. All right. So save your chubster jokes to yourself. It's just hot. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? No Saturday night streaming tonight. Streaming esta noche. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Con mi chica española. Okay. You know what I'm saying, guys? All right. What's crank the flange in Spanish? Anyway, yeah, so I'm out tonight. And so I won't be around. But make sure you got notifications turned on this channel, because you never know, I could go live at any time. I have a few drinks, man. I'm like, yeah, I need to speak to people. Yeah. Woo. You know what I'm saying? Any other housekeeping? Yes, if you want to be allocated a Saudi football team for next season and take part in something we're doing for a bit of fun, watch my other video and register your interests, please. Pay attention to that video, and we're just doing something like next season, a bit of fun. We're going to do a live draw, pick teams out, and you guys that enter that, you're going to have a Saudi team, Pro League team, and I'm going to have one. We'll have a laugh, basically. All right, so it gives us something else to talk about next season, which is always good. If things are a little bit, stressful or negative, we can focus on something else for a little bit. So yeah, t-shirt. Gotta hide this t-shirt from Tag. Tag2056 on Twitter. He's my boy. He's great. Insulting, piss-taking wanker, but he's great. Okay, so I did a video the other day called Matthew 7:15, right? And in that video, I made reference to a few months back. I said there's 2 journalists, right, that I think are going to try and make a name for themselves in the run up to the summer and then through the summer, and have opinions about everything because they need to, they want to be out there, get back up there, you know what I mean? Be relevant again. If they were ever relevant, it's up to you to decide if they were. And I mentioned in that video, I said, one of them started a YouTube channel now. Can you believe it? Do you know what I mean? They want to be like Fabrizio Romano, Mo Salah. Well, the other one started a YouTube channel now as well. Yeah, aren't you lucky? Eh? That's right. Listen, the more Liverpool content out there, the better. You know what I'm saying? I'm just always wary or cautious of people that have got an opinion on everything. I prefer people like Paul Joyce, David Ornstein, that say something when they need to say something. Do you know what I mean? People that pop up on, journalists that pop up on YouTube channels all the time as guests or their own every day, whatever they're trying to build an audience. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm just cautious of that. So just be wary of that, all right? Jordan Henderson, he's agreed personal terms, ahead of this potential move. I'm very suspicious about all of this stuff, guys. Like, just some of the reporting surrounding it, like the one in for how could Steven Gerrard, for example, how could he, for example, think that he could sign, right, or his club could sign a serving Liverpool captain with time left on his contract, an England international, who is still a prior athlete for nothing? It just doesn't make sense. I don't understand it. Why? I just don't get that. And Liverpool, right, initially we were told, they'd want 10 million. And then we said, no, they want 20 million. Even 20 million, I don't know. I saw something that our friend James Pearce put out this morning. Let me have a quick look. James Pearce. There we go. He tweeted an article out, not read it. Where is it? Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I thought I had. Oh no, is it that one? LFC, this is James Pearce. LFC intend to stand firm. They were planning for next season with him on board and won't let him go cheaply. No bid yet, 20 million. I'd argue that's cheap. So they ain't got the money to pay a transfer fee, but they can pay him 700 grand a week. How does that work then? Do you know what I mean? Strange, isn't it? I don't really want to talk too much about that one because we end up going into debates over people's morals and who should be playing in Saudi Arabia, who shouldn't. That's why I want a Saudi club next season. And I mentioned this on a live stream the other day. I'm thinking of going to Saudi Arabia next year to do some videos over there. Like I've been to Boston and did that with the FSG, to find out what people thought about them. Obviously, I did the Montreal and Dallas trips with Hicks and Gillette. I did do a trip to Chicago last year, Chicago Fire, part 1's on. I haven't done part 2 yet. I know that's not really relevant to Liverpool Football Club, but I wanted to try and show a little bit of the MLS. Like, part 2 will probably show around the stadium. I was given a private tour at Chicago Fire Soccer Club, and before a game, the main man there took me on a personal tour of the stadium, and I wanted to see how they deal with marketing and stuff, because they've got, like, behind the goals, they've got like a table. You can sit 10 at a table or something like that, or 6, I can't remember, maybe 6, I don't know, I can't remember the numbers, maybe 4, I don't know, I can't remember. But they've got tables behind the goals, on, like, just behind the pitch, where you can sit down and have a meal and a drink in the MLS. I mean, that's mental, isn't it? I'm sure there's a net there, because imagine that, like, just putting a fork in your mouth and, you're dead. But, the reason why is I went and seen that, and I'm thinking, because you see that, and then you think, well, that's what FSG would do if we could get away with it. Do you know what I mean? So, but basically, I'm thinking of going to Saudi Arabia on a scouting mission for you guys. It would cost a few bob, so we'll see about that. But if I'm in a position to do so, I will go to Saudi Arabia next year. If I can do, I need to do it when the football season's on, because I'd like to take a game in, obviously. And I don't know anything about Saudi Arabia, Saudi Arabian football. But if I can make it happen, do you think I should do it? What do you think? Because, listen, I don't bull with mass. I'm not going to go over there. You see, I wouldn't go over there, meet some of their officials, either unofficially or officially, because I'm not sure how they'd feel about me going, like, let's have a look, like, filming and shit like that. And I'm not going to, just because they look after me or be nice to me, I'm not going to say to you guys, oh yeah, it was great. Or, no, because I just tell the fucking truth. I might wait till I get home before I say it, like, what I'm saying. But I'm thinking of going to Saudi Arabia next year. But we'll see. It depends on circumstances. Very surprised with the Jordan Henderson stuff, to be honest with you. That is one thing I didn't expect to happen. And I don't know, like, if it doesn't happen, it's quite like, the people that are like, oh, I hope he goes, and I'm going to dance, and I'm going to party when he goes, and that. What are they going to be like towards Jordan Henderson if he stays? So I kind of feel like there's no way back for the poor lad. They don't even want to go. The rival fans will say, yeah, he just wants to go for the money. No, he doesn't. Of course money plays a part in this, but what it plays a part in is the whole picture, right? Like, he wants to play for Liverpool, and it to me, he's been forced out, right? Encouraged out. And during those conversations, the boss is going to sit down and say, look, I'd like you to stay, I'd love you to stay, but realistically, Jordan, maybe you're not going to be playing as much. And then that brings, questions about the speculation about the captaincy, and stay and fight for your place if you want, son, but go and take 700 grand. You'd be stupid not to. A week tax-free. So, if you're Jordan Henderson, you're thinking, well, I want to play for Liverpool. I love playing for Liverpool. I want to captain Liverpool. And then you're thinking 700 grand later. So, of course, money plays a part in it. But I think if you said to Jordan Henderson, you can stay at Liverpool, you'd still be first choice, you captain of this club, I think he would turn down 700 grand a week. I genuinely do. And I think he'll be in tears if he does leave. I sometimes when developments happen with the club, as Rafa would say, for sure, sometimes when things happen with the club and we get to hear about them, I always think, why? Especially when it's crazy, why? Like, free? Do you know what I mean? It's like the club or somebody wants you to know how stupid this suggestion is. And I know you guys are not as deep as me, but it's just the most bizarre. I don't get it. I just genuinely don't get it. And I really do think there's more to this. And I don't know what it is. But it just doesn't add up. It don't make sense. So from the owner's point of view, him leaving gets him off the wage bill. That's quite a significant thing. But even if Fabinho goes, we talk about Fabinho, right? Who, again, great player. I don't want Fabinho to go. I'd rather both of them players win the squad next season, But if they do go, or one goes, or whatever, I think we'll forget these conversations, because I think that we will see new talent brought in and we'll be buzzing off our tits about it. So I think positive things have to happen, But I guess the point of the video is I genuinely, and I'm not looking for conspiracy theories in every video that I do or every topic that happens with the club. I just find it exceptionally strange that I just find it exceptionally strange that someone thinks that they could get a Liverpool captain for free. I do not get it. I don't get it. And then claim poverty. Oh, we can't afford that, but we can give him 700 grand a week. So then if he stays, what's the narrative then? Do you know what I mean? Like, well, we couldn't make that deal happen, Jurgen. We couldn't. We were going to use that 20 million to put towards Lavia or another. We couldn't make that deal happen because we couldn't agree a fee with this Saudi club. I don't know what it's called, but because of that, they're all sound the same to me. Am I allowed to say is that what I do? I can't remember. We're talking about names of football clubs. How can that offend someone? If it doesn't happen, what's the narrative then? Like, well, the wage bill, we didn't get him off the wage bill, so we can't really spend that now. Do you understand what I mean? It's like, what happens next? Like, if he goes, no problem. It's done, it's dusted, and good luck to the lad and whatnot. But imagine going out there, right? Imagine Jordan Henderson. I sounded like I had a feather up my arse then, didn't I? Imagine going out there, still at the top of your game, to a league that I think is ranked 52nd or 54th in the world. I don't know. I had a quick Google yesterday. To retire when he's still at the top, he could be playing against Manchester United, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea. The World Cup. What? Not World Cup. I don't even know what tournament's next. I can't remember. International football is what I mean. These tournaments, and it must be the World Cup, wasn't it? I don't know what's international tournament is it? I can't remember because everything threw me off since COVID. We don't them last Euros. It's the World Cup, isn't it? I don't even know. No, the World Cup's in. No, it has to be the Euros, doesn't it? When did that bird blow me out? I can't explain that one. It's Euro 20, is it 24? Germany, Euro 2024. I don't follow international football, guys. I hate it. I like the tournament. I do watch these tournaments. I don't know. I just get confused with. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so he wants to play in that. Obviously, it's just strange. And we're getting a lot of information about it, aren't we? We're getting a lot of information about it, about what is and isn't happening. And everyone knows. So you could argue that the players maybe, chirping. I don't think George is. I don't think anyone's established contact with George yet. Then you've got other bits from their side, well, that's going to be Gerrard, isn't it? Which explains why some of the old school journalists, fallen journalists, why they've got opinions again. Ornstein and Joyce are chiming in quite a bit. It just makes me think that the owners or the senior management are up there. If it doesn't happen, all I'm going to say to you is this: if it doesn't happen, watch the narrative as to what comes. Like, oh well, do you know what I mean? But it should happen, shouldn't it? I don't see how there's a way back. But if they won't pay the fee, it ain't going to happen, is it? I just find it very strange, guys. I just find it really strange, and that's all. It's come out of nowhere, that's fine. Things change in football. Don't know. I genuinely do not. I'm genuinely confused with this one. we shall see. We shall see. I thought we might have heard something about it last night, actually, although I guess we did get told that, you know, he's agreed his personal terms, which again is, you know, like, personal terms are usually agreed unofficially, you know. When you're interested in a player, is your client interested in us? Yes. What would he be looking for? About this. Okay, cool. What do we need to make the deal happen? And then you bid, right? With this, the confirmation of the personal terms being discussed are out there first, more or less officially, because it's coming out from the journalist saying personal terms are agreed. And normally, you know that it will say Liverpool Football Club have accepted a transfer bid. Permission has been given for personal terms to take place. That never happens. That's just part of the game, right? Because that's already happened beforehand. There's personal terms that are always agreed before a bid goes in, right? Always, right? But on this occasion, the personal terms have been agreed before a bid's gone in, right? But the club seem happy to say, yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Yeah, we're not bothered. It's like they're absolutely willing it and desperate for it to happen. But I'm not suggesting the manager's thinking like that. I feel like it's the powers above, and this is not to get at FSG. You know, people always go on about FSG, and sometimes I think that you guys, right, maybe those of you that hate FSG, think that they have more input than they actually do on the playing side of things. I feel like it's typical FSG ownership, though, that these things are being encouraged to happen first before they bring more people in. So in other words, we could sell Fabinho and Henderson, and that will fund Lavia. That's how it feels. Do you know what I mean? It would be nice, or I would be more settled if we were bringing in players first and then tidying up later. But again, you know, if these players do go, then we will see additions, and I hope that we sign Lavia, because as you know, you guys that watch my live streams, he's the one that I would really like to see us get ahead of all the other realistic midfielders that have been linked with us. But I just think that I know it's not very helpful, this video, but I just think that there's something off somewhere where, as to the extent of the detail that you're being made aware of, or we're being made aware of. In other words, everybody wants you to know what is happening with this, and we collectively have to work out why that is. Because if it doesn't happen, does it affect something else? And that is then the defence. Well, you know, we tried to make this happen, but it didn't happen. So I know that, you know, this is just one of those videos where I'm thinking things through. So anyway, I'm going to go. So I'll speak to you later. I will be going live shortly. I hope you have a great weekend, guys. I really do. Thanks to those of you that are supporters of this channel, or channel members, or whatever. That all the information is in the video description. I couldn't be here without you guys, and that's just reality. Thanks to those of you that thumbs up the video. Comments on my videos, they, through the day, whatever they are, if they're mean or nasty, I get rid of them people, even if they're mean or nasty to you in the comments. I'm not bothered about people having different opinions, but when people are disrespectful to me or the community, I will remove them. But yeah, the comments, you know, I find myself picking up my phone during the day, maybe when I'm having a break or when I'm doing things. So even like tonight, you know, when I'm out with that chick, you know what I'm saying? She'll be, I'm just going to the bathroom. Yeah, sure, no problem. I'll be like that straight away. Like, what's everyone saying? Do you know what I mean? So, and the love art. But listen, if you're thinking of hitting the love art on this video, go and do it on the other video about entering the Saudi football thing that I'm doing, because then I can pick you a team when we do it, right? So, let me know your thoughts on it all. Jordan Henderson has agreed terms. There's an issue over the transfer fee, which is bizarre. We're seeing a lot of updates because obviously Gerrard's involved in this, and there are people with connections to him. Jordan Henderson, there'll be people, you know, connected to him. So we're getting everyone's views, but I just, something just doesn't feel right. And if it happens, it doesn't matter. That like narrative is not needed. If it doesn't happen, if a fee isn't agreed, which surely it will be, I don't see how we can come back from that. But if it doesn't happen, then I think my prediction is that there will be some kind of narrative, like somewhere along the line. I'm usually right. If he does leave, I think it would be very sad that he didn't get an opportunity to say goodbye on the pitch, you know, as a player after, you know, at the end of the season, the last home game. So if he does leave, I really hope that arrangements are made for him to attend, you know, something and to be out there on the pitch, which is not the same as being in your kit and taking part in everything. So I'm not an FSG. I'm not an FSG fanboy. No, I'm not a Jordan Henderson fanboy. I can just respect his contribution to the club. I'd rather he was in the squad, the same as Fabinho. Fabinho talk of 40 million. I find that like cheap, don't you? Brazil international. I'm not, you know, a fanboy of Jordan. I understand it. I think he has to judge the circumstances. The manager will be honest with him. He's got an opportunity to go and take 700 grand. But imagine being at the top of your game and going and finishing your career. It's too soon. His head must be mashed. Do you know what I mean? I know everyone's like, oh, yeah, 700 grand. I think if you're already a multi-millionaire, yeah, it's good to, you know, to have as much money as you can in life. But for me, money doesn't, it's going to sound bizarre this, but money doesn't make you happy. It doesn't. In saying that, I'd rather cry in a Mercedes-Benz than on a push bike. But my point is that the happiest that I've ever been in my life was probably when I was in my 20s and didn't have any money. Do you know what I mean? I'm in my 40s and it's still the same situation. But what I mean is, I've had times when I've had nothing and I've had times when I've had a lot of money. And money makes life easier for us ordinary people. But for me, it's not an obsession, is what I'm trying to say. If you're already a multi-millionaire, you know, you wouldn't be looking at it like we would. We'd be like, 700 grand, fucking hell, I'll sign for ISIS. Do you know what I mean? I don't believe that boy's motivated by that, but it's just, I don't know, it's just the most fucking, I never thought we'd be discussing this during the summer. I'm sorry, because I can't get my head around it. See you in a bit.